All right. How you doing out there? Hopefully you're enjoying yourself. And live from the 316 is the Real Cheetah Project. And hopefully it is nice weather where you are. It's a little windy here in the 316, but we're making it work. And hopefully you're enjoying all that has to offer, especially if the weather is pretty mild where you are. And if you're tuning in, this is another live comic book stream. We got a lot to talk about today, but before I get into comic books, there's a lot of big shit that dropped today that I feel like that's pretty good. So we got a lot to talk about. But one thing, the channel is up and rolling. We are officially rolling. We're getting to it. It's grind season, so I hope you're feeling the same way. It's Easter season, and that don't stop after Easter Sunday. We'll keep pushing forward. We're looking forward to Divine Mercy Sunday. Divine Mercy is in effect, grace is in effect, and we're out here to, and this project is out here to pump those things as well. Not even just the earthly parts of life, which are enjoying comic books, enjoying music, enjoying youth, enjoying everything life has to offer, but also enjoying also what heaven has to offer as well. So, and that's the goal. Heaven is the goal. So, that being said, we're pushing forward to Divine Mercy Sunday, and we're pushing forward with Easter season. So, and I hope you're feeling all those good vibes as well. Divine Mercy doesn't stop. That's the great thing about it. Okay. Also, to bring it back down, the channel. Hopefully you enjoy Vegeta 1, Vegeta Alpha. Hopefully that's something that gave you value. I really had a good time in doing the whole Dragon Ball Z stuff. So we got a whole bunch more stuff coming on the channel. Speaking of the episodes that I have coming up, I ran into the copyright monster, and so I'm not gonna say how I really feel, but shame on you, Sony Music Japan. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan, and how you're getting down is very regrettable. So the episodes I have coming up, I'm gonna post them up anyways because they say I can. But what they say will not happen is those particular videos won't be available for view in America, in the United States. They won't be available for view in the United States, Australia, Mexico, and New Zealand, and I think maybe a few other countries. So I guess this is my way into Japan. I guess it's just the Japan market. So, and Japan being the mecca of all anime, that's just very regrettable. And what that means for me in the project is that one of the greatest animes that I've known, and it's hard for me to say what my greatest anime is because every time I'm in the one, I say this is it. I mean, Dragon Ball Z's up there, but another anime that is right up there in the running for greatest anime of all time, in my opinion, is Rurouni Kenshin. Is completely off the table now. I can't do anything visually with Rurouni Kenshin without Sony Music Japan on my head, and it won't be. I can do it, but it won't be available to the United States, the main audience, right? And that's trash. So that's very regrettable, and that's very disappointing to me because Rurouni Kenshin, and we're gonna get into the podcast side. It just has so many great characters, and it's arguably the greatest anime ever, and I can't express that visually through AMVs. So now I have to remix some of the AMVs that I already have coming up and that nobody's seen or nobody's going to see. I already have to remix them. So that takes away from Kalani, and but Kalani's a pillar on this show and or this project, and I got a lot coming for her, especially now. Now that I know that I really need to push forward on getting her some stuff that's viewable on this side of the waters. So Kalani's gonna get her due on this show, and so to let the cat out the bag, that was one of the episodes coming up next. Is the Kalani episode, which is, and all these episodes I have more or less done, but to all the other creators out there that might be listening or is going to listen, you know, I'm uploading these and keeping them stockpiled just so I'll know, in advance whether or not I have to jump any copyright hoops. And that's just the way we're deciding to do things on this side of the project. On the podcast side, we're doing things a little differently, but on this side, I really want to be flashy and big up the artists that I love and be contemporary and have and open up the lit faucet a little bit more, and we're gonna get to that side on that way on the podcast side, but we have to do that. We're gonna have to do that a different way because again, when you get in the copyright, you're getting a lot of hands in the cookie jar, not even just hands. And I say this on the podcast side, but you putting somebody's whole body in the cookie jar. You're like, it's not even just their hands in it. They're putting their whole face and mouth in the cookie jar. And that's fine because I want to big up my artists and I want to show off the artists that I really feel like have influenced me and the anime that really influenced me. And it just sucks when politics and bullshit get in the way. And that's pretty much all it is. I'm not trying to make no money off this stuff. Definitely not on the YouTube side. I mean, like I said, there's all type of faces and hands and butt cheeks or whatever in the cookie jar at this point. So on this side of the project, so and I'm not worried about that. I just want to entertain and have a good time and big up the artists because I feel like they deserve it. And I feel like musicians have a hard way to go, especially if you already made it. Like shout out to Drake, Kalani, Fab, all the artists that we're going to highlight on this side and on both sides of the project. I mean, they have a hard way to go, and just as hard as the artist struggling, you know. So like J. Cole said, there's beauty in the struggle, ugliness in the success, and I think every artist that we can say has is successful can attest to that. And J. Cole said some real ass shit. We're gonna get to him too, but so shout out to all the musicians and all the other artists out there because being an artist is tough, especially when you start dealing with copyrights and all that extra shit, man. It's tough. So shame on you, Sony Music Japan. Boo. But we're gonna push forward. We're gonna figure it out. So I'll have to redo a few episodes so they can be viewable for this side of the water, and that's fine. That's fine. It's grind season. That's fine. We're out here. The Royal Cheetah Project, Royal Cheetah Boy. We're gonna do this. Okay, so now that we address that, let's get into this week comics. Batman number 9, and I'm sorry about the shitty pick there. It didn't look that shitty when I got it, but this cover is way doper than that. I promise you, in real time. So I guess that's just a plug for you to go out and check it out at your local comic book shop. Shout out to Perry Dog Comics here in the 316 for putting on as always. Love them. Used to work there, and they're the shit already. But this particular book is also the shit. Scott Snyder is a beast. Love it. And unfortunately, though, I have jumped in at the end of this particular story arc, and I hate doing that shit. So kind of takes away from the effect. But Scott Snyder, being such the beast that he is, kind of really still makes up for that. This book is pretty beast, and I mean, like I said, I wish this picture that I have up wasn't so damn shitty, but I'm sorry about that. I'll have to figure out how to mitigate that for sure. But it's it's legit. It's lit. This particular episode, I mean, this particular book is pretty lit, and we'll get right into it. Give me one moment here. Now, first off top. Again, this is the number 9, and this is and not even just the number 9. It's the end of the story arc. So this is the end of the Earth's finale, and this is exactly what this is. It's a finale, and Scott Snyder's the beast. Is a beast at finales. He really knows how to set some shit off as far as the script's concerned. And then he always seems to team with somebody who knows how to do the artwork to follow. Like let's see, this is Scott Snyder is the writer, and then you have Jock. His name is just Jock. And pencils, inks, and cover. He's a beast. And just like he did with Greg Capullo, man, it's just some nice ass shit. So this is not, and he says it in here. He's like this is not a Batman story, and it's true. That's like one of the first lines of the script, is this is not a Batman story, and that's absolutely true. This book is pretty awesome, and it's a Bruce Wayne story, and that's one of the things is you don't really we really don't get much Bruce Wayne, and I'm really in love with this. It's fast paced, and the art is shadowy and different than what I'm really used to. I really like the colorful, sharp art, and this gives me the sharp, but it gives me like a more like a haze, sunset, shadow kind of thing. Like, and it's deep, and I think that's a reminiscent of what's going on here as far as the big bad that shows up. I'm not going to ruin it, but this big bad's on some fuck shit, straight up, and but Batman is a beast. That's all I'm gonna say. I really suggest if you're in the Batman, I really suggest you go and picking this number 9 up. Even if you haven't been involved in All Star Batman, I would say jump on All Star Batman, and also this one was a good one to have in your catalog if you're big into Batman like we are on this project. Batman's, and we'll get into this on the podcast side, but Batman's best BM, his best baby mama, Batman's baddest shows up, makes an appearance on this, and I'm really appreciative of that. She's so cute. I love her. and then uh and then Batman is just on some, not even Batman. Bruce Wayne is some ultra G shit. He just was some ultra G shit in this, and the writing's really good. And I take it to the bank. Like you can't miss with this particular book if you're in the Batman. Straight up and down. Like, and so for the art, I give the art on this a 10 out of 10. The cover is 10 out of 10 because that's one thing too. I'm gonna start rating. Cover's 10 out of 10. The actual artwork and the story is 10 out of 10. And I have even though Scott Snyder's a beast and he really makes this enjoyable for me, I have to give the story 8 out of 10. Not because of any deficiencies in the story, just because I'm a lame and I didn't get started on this so far, so I really can't say the story's a 10 out of 10, and that's just my fault. So that's a ding on it, not because of anything the creators did, just my fault. So maybe I shouldn't even say that. The story gets a hyphen question mark. I'm not even gonna say retract that statement. I know this because Scott Snyder's a shit, and probably the story is probably 9 out of 9, 9 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. So I really can't comment on the score. So scratch that. I'm sorry, but the art, no diggity, no doubt, is a 10. It's a 10-10 straight up, and it's different than what I'm used to, and I like that. And it's sophisticated and it's shadowy and it's gritty and it's just different and it's just different and it really brings out some shit. And Batman has some deep shit to say in this, and so does the big bad, and that's what makes it legit. Like definitely, I mean, I highly, this is highly recommended. This is highly recommended. So yeah, alrighty, moving on. Let me make sure that's all I wanted to say about that one. Let's see here. Scott Snyder's a beast. It's really a fast read. Let's see. And again, yeah, okay, we're good. Okay, moving on. Super Sons 3. Okay, I'm busy with other stuff. I don't know why I haven't got to it yet, but I really need to read Super Sons 2, which I haven't done yet. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me, but Super Sons 3 is very, very interesting. It's very, very interesting. And the super kids are in big trouble. They're in big trouble, and the stakes are pretty high as it would seem. And the number one, the art is so up and down for me as far as this stuff is concerned. But I guess the more I'm looking at it, the more fluid and the more fleek this art gets. It's just I don't know. The art kind of reminds me to all my 90s kids out there. It was in front of one of these VHSs. I think it was either A Bug's Life or Ants or something like that. One of those Pixar movies, one of those insect Pixar movies. And they had this short about this old guy playing this crazy old guy playing chess with himself in the park. Does anybody remember that shit? Like this is what this art kind of reminds me of. But still, I'm kind of getting towards from far from that. It's just something about their noses. I don't know what that is. Everything is kind of fleek, but the noses on the characters. I don't know why their noses are like that. Like I don't know. Is but other than that, it's setting up a high stakes story for the teenage superheroes. And again, in their super costumes, they look pretty beast, and they're in their super costumes the whole time here, and it gets pretty deep. The only thing is the story gets a little confusing for me, and maybe it's because I didn't read number two, but still, the way the villain in this particular episode, particular issue is operating, it's a little confusing. So maybe I should read number two and get back to you guys on that. But still, that aside, Superboy and Robin seem to have this Goten Trunks kind of relationship that's really dope and entertaining. And but they're kind of in over their head, and that's how they're supposed to be. But somehow they're making it. Somehow they're surviving and making it work. And it's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting. I'm digging it, and nothing's gonna happen to me as far as this pool is concerned. I'm gonna keep rocking with this. This is still passing the grade here for sure. And Robin, Damien's a beast. To let the cat out the bag, Damien is my favorite Robin, and he puts on. And Superboy is likable, is likable in this as well. So I really want to see what happens as far as how it gets all resolved with the big bad, and if the dad shows, and if the respective fathers do show up. I'm sure they will at some point. But the creative team on this particular issue does a great job of moving the story along, and it is pretty fluid, and again they do a good job of setting up that Goten Trunks kind of relationship between the two super kids, like straight up. Damien's just an asshole, but that's why we love Damien. He's just a little fucking brat. So with Super Sons 3, the art is an 8 out of 10, and I'll give the story a 9 out of 10, just because the stakes are so high, and the magnanimity or the enormity of what they're up against is pretty deep, just for those two. Because neither one of them can be any older than 13, so turn up. Alrighty. And the Justin Win variant is always dope. Justin Win's a beast, so shout out to him as well. And moving on. Venom 6. Venom 6. Venom is pretty interesting. We talked about Venom the last time briefly, Venom 5, and so Venom 6 is back on the ticket here. Eddie Brock is back on the ticket here. And I love this run. I love it. It's pretty interesting. The only thing I'm really confused on, and I guess again because I started at 5, is the motivation of the symbiote and the motivation of the Army Ranger guy that is occupying at the beginning of this particular issue in opening 5 that has been occupied up until this point. I can't discern whether or not the Venom suit is evil or the guy in it is evil, because I don't know which one is which, or which one's controlling what, and it's hard for me to sometimes to see who's talking to who too. That's the only thing. But other than that, this issue is pretty beast. It's pretty fleek, and the art on it is just the art I love. This shit is right up my alley, and they nail Spider Man. This is how Spider Man should be drawn. This is how Spider Man should be acting. This is they get everything right, and it's so sharp, and the lines are so defined, and the action is there, and it's fast paced, and again Spider-Man makes another appearance, and this is the way Spider-Man should look. And I wish whoever's drawing this, I think that's Sandoval, I wish he would go ahead, and I wish they would charge him to go ahead and do a whole Spider-Man run on his own of this beast ass shit he draws on Spider-Man, because I'm digging it, and he's resurrected my love for Spider-Man, that's for sure, just off his art alone. And Spider-Man comes through and does some pretty clutch shit, and it's going to get interesting. It's going to get interesting. The only thing I'm really afraid of from here on out is it looks like at the end of this that the art, the creative team is going to change, as from the preview of what it looks like for the next issue. So Venom 150, that's what it's going to be called. So hopefully this is not the last time we have anything good to say about this Venom run, honestly. And and Mr. Sandoval's on my list now. He's on the radar, like seriously, and I'm really gonna be interested to see what comes up for him next, as far as what they gonna have him on, because he's too talented to be not somewhere doing something. So, and he's got Venom and Spider-Man nailed, and just off that credit alone, even if you took out the words on this particular issue, you would still gain a shit ton of value from this. So, man, best Spider-Man art I've seen in a long time. Lots of action, fast pace, and man, the art's a 10 out of 10. But given the confusion that I have personally, maybe just because I'm dyslexic, I don't know. The story gets an 8 out of 10 because I just don't know when the symbiote's talking and when the other guy's talking, and I guess that's because I'm just not focused, I guess. But still, this is beast. I would suggest you getting on this, especially if you're a Spider-Man or a Venom fan, or if you're just but I know a lot of people like Venom. I like Spider-Man way more than I like Venom. So, but I get a good dose of both of them, especially from the way the art is done. So shout out to Marvel. Shout out to the creative team of Venom 6 for knocking that shit out the park. Straight up. Alrighty. Now we're at the crowning comic of the week, as it would seem, the one that they've been hyping for a while now, and I can say that it has delivered, and that's Batman 21, the beginning of the Button event. Now, if you've seen Flashpoint, I think this is gonna have a lot to do with that. Um, but let's talk about the art for a second. The art team really crushes this shit and nails it out the park. Is deep, it's dense, it's dynamic, it's full. You know, I don't I don't have any gripes about it. It's sharp. It's colorful. It's everything you really want for. I mean, everything that I would want for a Batman comic to look like, as far as the artwork is concerned. Now, the story, and they've been hyping this up for a long time, and I don't know where this is going for real, and that's cool. Jason Fabric gets a lot of credit, but Tom King gets a lot of credit for the script too. And Batman, I'm not going to ruin it. I mean, I'm not going to ruin it. Batman. What I will say is the only person in the Justice League or in the DC universe, one of the only persons. But I think Batman has a contingency or enough skill to pretty much deal with anybody in a given situation. The only person that might really fuck that up is Flash. You know, that's probably the only person. And Flash is low key overpowered. And the only person that could fuck that up is Flash or somebody like a Flash, and that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. But this cover is pretty dope. It's a soft cover. I don't know what that's about, but it's doing some crazy shit, and I like this cover. You just have to go to the comic book shop and take a look at it and see what I'm talking about. And it's one of those change with emotion type covers, but it's not. When I say soft cover, I don't know what I particularly really mean by that. You just have to go check this shit out. It'd be really difficult for me to try to show that on the display that right now, but this cover is pretty legit. Definitely, the cover gets a 10 out of 10 just from the different functionality that it have than just a regular ass cover as far as the material is concerned. And so I think this Button event is going to deliver. Batman and Flash always seem to really, for some reason, have a don't miss kind of like and we'll speak on this later. I'm kind of letting the cat out the bag again, but that's what happens on live when I go live. Kind of like a Fabulous Wale kind of thing. It's like when they get together, they don't miss, and it's always effective and it's always a good time. So, uh, but man, it'd be interesting to see what happens from here on out. Some big names are dropped, that's for sure, and and they really just get right to it. There's really not a lot of muse or a lot of build up or a lot of backstory to be given here. They kind of just put you right in the middle of the shit. They kind of put Bruce, aka Batman, right in the middle of the shit, and Batman just shows off why he's such a beast, and but also again shows why Flash type motherfucker just pulling up on him might be the only thing that Batman really doesn't have an answer for, and that kind of got brought to our mind like because Flash is just like I said, low key overpowered. So, but this is pretty deep, and it delivered. I mean, it lived up to the hype. So, art wise, 9 out of 10. Because I think it's a little on the heavy side, but that's fine. In the in the story, I also give a 9 out of 10. So take that for what you want. I'm pretty excited to see how this builds up from here on out, and it's going to cross over on Flash and the main Flash run and the main Batman run. So how about that? Alrighty. And for some extra shit, I'm not into Doctor Strange, so if anybody is out there in the Doctor Strange that's deep, let me know why. But this particular book is episode. I'm just not into this art, and I'm not really into Doctor Strange because he's completely overpowered, and I really don't know what his functionality in the Marvel universe is, being so overpowered. You know, like what what does he do? You know, him and I mean, Professor X is just as powerful, but at least he has a functionality. Like, what the fuck does Doctor Strange ever really do? You know, and then I got this book. Only reason I got this book is because they have this beast ass, and I have it up. Cyclops variant cover. Cyclops is my favorite X Man, and this shit is beast. So that's the only reason why I even decided to pick this up. Speaking of X Men, um, hopefully they'll do a Psylocke cover, and or Marvel hopefully will do a straight Psylocke run. I don't know if that's happened in a long time or if ever. And if they can nail that, that'd be dope. I'll get into that for sure. So that's a what if Christmas list type shit there. Um, yeah, man. Yeah, but the cover that covers Beast. Cyclops is Beast. Cyclops is hated for a lot of reasons that are not his fault. But Cyclops underrated, and I like Cyclops, man. And but other than that, though, that Doctor Strange 19, I'm not gonna read that. The art looks too too hipsterish, and I'm just not into Doctor Strange like that. So there you have it. Big week. Hopefully, we'll just they'll keep pumping out good stuff. I really don't have anything bad to say about anything this week. I feel like I really never have anything bad to say about comic book music. That's because I'm only bringing stuff that I'm really into and really enjoy. I'm not going to listen to anything, or I'm not going to bring anything that I listen to just to call out and say it's trash. Because what's the point of that? If I find value out of it, I'm bringing it to you. Unless it's just absolutely offensive and I'm like stay away from it, then I might do that. But I don't know. Then you'd be crossing over into hater status, and I guess. So I'm only bringing things that I find that I'm willing to try because of the names associated and see if it's good or not that way. But I'm not going to try any like new stuff outright just for the sake of stepping out of those lanes, like Doctor Strange, like whatever on Doctor Strange, like straight up, because I think this particular artwork is not my fancy. So we're at 27 minutes. I think we're going to roll out of here. Hope you enjoyed that. Be back. I'll be back next Wednesday. And again, the podcast is up. We got approved for iTunes. So when I get the iTunes information, I'll divvy how to access that on iTunes. So I'm just waiting for that to be a thing. So stand by for that. And we'll drop episodes on the podcast every Friday. So that's the schedule of the project is Monday, Wednesday for this stuff, and then Friday on the podcast side. So team lit. Hopefully we can really get to a point to where we're having some fun and have a vibrant community and yeah, man, just have fun and enjoy life. And um, the one thing I want to say as far as the positive stuff I want to get across, because I like to deliver on that as well, is sin can't hold you back. Sin is not going to be able to keep you from doing anything, and you're not trapped by it. You have a light inside you, and you can make that shit happen. Like don't let sin trick you into thinking that you can't get out, because that's false. Alrighty, and divine mercy is always there for you, and it's the best thing I've ever known in my life. So, and I'm speaking to you from experience. So if you're not familiar with divine mercy, I would suggest you investigating that. Alrighty, and we're gonna speak a lot about that on this project. So, and that's part of the gig too here. So, take care of yourselves. Be beautiful. And I listen to my spiritual hero, one of the greatest men I know in my life, Father John Ricardo's podcast today, and his homily on Good Friday, and you know that's what he referenced. He said, beauty can't be denied. We can deny a lot of things going on around us. That's what humans do. We rationalize, we make excuses, but if something's beautiful, that can't be refuted. That can't be. It's not even a thing that could be discussed. If it's beautiful, it's beautiful straight up. So, and there's beauty in mercy. There's beauty in grace. There's beauty in love, and there's beauty in ultimately, most of all, God. So, and that's what Father Ricardo really wanted to get across, and that's what I'm getting across to you from him. So, check him out. His podcast is also available. I will Google him, and also wait for the come down on the iTunes podcast for us, because we're really trying to get this get this shit jumped off in a lit kind of way. So hopefully you've enjoyed Vegeta Alpha, and I got more episodes coming Monday. So we'll see you. We'll see you then probably, and then again we'll start seeing you Fridays on the podcast side. So take care of yourselves, turn up, enjoy yourselves. If you're doing anything tonight, be safe, and thanks for being a part of this. Alrighty, and hopefully you can come back. Alrighty, turn up.